bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. Demon fangs spitting in my cup all night long. Wheel your tongue at my throne of power. Oh no. I never for a second thought that I was dead. Oh no. I never for a second let you into my head. Oh no. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lose my mind. Oh no. I bet you thought that I'd give up tonight. Oh no. Bleeding knees, but honey, I can still cry. Oh yeah. I'm going crazy to get out of this. Oh yeah. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. Now can I get away from the pain when I baby? I never get away, get away. Why? Now can I get away from the pain when I baby? I never get away, get away. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Oh no, yeah.
There are men, and there are giants. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west now down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, photos, then throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, caking dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal.
I'll stop enough
seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us, they could not destroy us.
Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline?
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my GPS.
Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants, Heart of David, you know it takes just one. Yes, son.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting tonight.
Poppin' nugget when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a bad man, but I only got the best intention. Tougher, not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead, don't have to take it undercover. Just on the bells are ringing, people singing, rice throwing, flower bringing. Ting-a-ling-a-ling, the honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know exists. What's your wish? Dinner at the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Shot us in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, and we went up. Yeah. And my love a tripping, yeah. Now I feel my body drifting, yeah. Baby girl, she got me lifted, the mind tripping, yeah. Excuse her while she kiss the sky. 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 Jaws dropping when she walking, kind of thing that happen often more than just a little. I be shutting down the city, black the ladies scares when she wear. You see that sun in the air, fashion week all year, throwing money in the air. Just happy with my lady, other girls they wanna hate her. It comes with the territory, ball players wanna date her. All we got is loyalty, I'm treating you like royalty. I'ma spoil you every day of the week. Shot us in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, then we went up, yeah. And my love a tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. Baby girl, she got me lifted, the mind tripping. Excuse her while she kiss the sky. 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 Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, now breathe, baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey, inhale, exhale. Let's take a breath and breathe, baby. Excuse her while she kiss the sky. 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 Excuse her while she kiss the sky.
Texans are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
Matt Miller told me to look at a certain stat in regards to this defensive back, and that's average number of targets in a game. Not surprisingly, you see that number start to fall each week. He was a master of the bait and switch early in the year, on track to break records midway through the season. Eventually, quarterbacks gave up altogether trying to throw the ball in his direction, essentially taking away a receiver on every play. There's going to be an adjustment period now that he's in the NFL, but he certainly has the potential to be a shutdown defender for this team in the future.
Vikings just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
Well, there isn't much to say other than this kid was born to run. He's the spitting image of his father, a nationally ranked sprinter in several major events, and highly recruited by every major college. However, unlike his dad, he chose to pursue a career in football, and so far that decision is paying off. He may not be gold medal fast, but he has the speed and quickness to cause fits for the opposing team. He's the type of player you like to see out in the open field where he can make moves a lot of other players can't. The coaches are going to love having his speed at their disposal.
You're never gonna slow me down. I've got the energy of a tidal wave. You don't gotta believe in me. I know who I wanna be. You don't gotta believe in me. Gotta believe in me. Gotta believe in me. Gotta believe in me. Gotta believe in me.
Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
This guy was a beast at the combine. No other rookie pumped out more reps on the bench than he did. One scout told me the whole room of players waiting their turn were on their feet cheering him on. He blasted through 20, didn't show signs of slowing down at 30, and finished with just over 40 reps under his belt. Coaches came away impressed with his level of effort. The bench press is a good test of endurance, and he showed his ability to perform at a high level without slowing down. If he can translate what he did in the weight room to the field, he'll have an immediate impact on the team.
Eagles have made their selection. For more about him, let's go to Adam Schefter.
Looking back at pro days, no quarterback had a more impressive showing than he did. Matt Miller described it as a franchise-type workout. On his own turf, with his weapons to throw to, not a single pass touched the ground. A full fleet of scouts were in attendance to see him make every possible NFL throw. Matt told me he was very impressed with his ball placement. Each throw is spot on, allowing receivers to maintain their speed and make the catch in stride. With the performance he turned in, it's no wonder he was drafted here. He has all the qualities you want in your play caller. Now let's see if he can put it together and become the face of their franchise.
Gotta believe in me. 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 Gotta
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy.
All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
A veritable interception machine, he holds his college's single-game record for interceptions in a game, snagging 3. Scouts pointed to an almost sixth sense when the ball was in the air, and Matt Miller had him ranked as the top defensive back in the draft in his final mock. True lockdown defensive backs are few and far between, and this is a pick that should solidify this team's pass defense for years to come. It'll be very interesting to see if opposing offenses go right after him, and how if he shows any rust after being avoided for much of his final year in college.
Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing you know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks whistling at them on the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long. Bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight. Straight out of moonlight. Woo! You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
All night long, bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight. Straight out of moonlight.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Left field, call it. Babe Ruth, ball it. Your boyfriend's got a cauliflower, and I'm a. So sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant. Trolling on the internet. No respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck. Coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck.
Now that the Texans have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more.
He's a Heisman-winning defender. Let me say that one more time. He won the Heisman, and he's a defensive player. Need I say more? You can imagine how well he played this season to win the biggest award in college over several offensive playmakers. The trophy was well-deserved, and according to Matt Miller, he projects really well as a defender in the NFL. I think this is a home run pick, and it's great to see a defender get some well-deserved recognition.
Dropping big beats, so they gotta listen. We're just a couple of weirdos coming to your city, sending bass into your earlobes like your bleached out hairdos. We glowing in the dark, got the spark, about to flare the fuse. That's just how we do. Geronimo, parachute, skydiving off your parents' roof. Crew saw the magician's assistant and half like, who the are you? Who the are you? Who the are we? We be the dudes who just come over to water the lawn. We don't say hi, we just come over to walk your dog. We nice like that, we super nice like that.
Bills just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
He's one of the few receivers in college that no matter what sort of coverage you threw at him, he always came away with the ball. A great example is one of his impressive touchdown catches that has been on highlight reels ever since. It was late in the game, and the defense knew who the quarterback was going to target. He was surrounded by 3 defenders when his quarterback put the ball in the air. And even though he was completely swamped, somehow he managed to pluck the ball right over the defenders' heads. He isn't the biggest receiver, but he has the ability to stretch and make the play, essentially making him a larger and taller target and a real threat in the red zone. I think this team got a possible difference maker at receiver.
Babe, show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He want. I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with status. Walk up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has a time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block my hit cause someday something come along. Someone tell me I'm someone doing alright.
Let's go to Adam now, who has more on the Bears' last pick.
Every GM I've talked to has told me that their eyes lit up every time they watch film on this guy. He was such an offensive weapon in college that he often saw a team's number 1 and number 2 cornerbacks line up against him, and he routinely dominated them. Not only is he an outstanding receiver, I've heard from many scouts that he's one of the better blockers they've seen in this draft class, including offensive linemen. He's a guy that's going to get a lot of reps in training camp and a chance to make an immediate difference on this team.
Both of us are so taxi, leave the meter on. First time you out in Cali, never tried no strong, so you gon' have some stories to tell when you take it back. One time, Snowy always showed you what it's like. Leave you sleepy like the call the umpire. Get you out and get you rolling, get you gotta go, I got a flight up in the morning.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Someone tell me I'm someone doing alright. Somewhere, I'll find out someone that's somebody that one day I'll be the love of my life, but not tonight though. He trying to catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the though. Shout out to my that can get it independent and ain't looking for no love though. He trying to catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the though. He trying to stunt and give me drinks. I got the bottles in the section and I promise the base. Turn up the bass.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
But the writing's on the wall. There's more than meets the eye with her. And nothing I can do. I'm left without a clue. She sees it all in black and white or blue. She's got a rebel heart. One day she's gonna fight. She's got a rebel heart.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
She wants to overthrow our love. Maybe too much ain't enough, and we won't make it out alive. She's got a rebel heart. She's had it from the start. They're out there on the run again. She's got a rebel heart. One day she's gonna fall. She's got a rebel heart. She's up against them
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Hey, you never had your head this way. Are you still living in the place? They told me you've been doing okay, okay. In another world where you and me, we show our hearts here entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy. Tell me we can make this real if we can follow what we feel. I'm running but I reach the edge, and now I'm falling, so promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me. Dreams forever in my head, it seems. I finally know what we mean. I promise that one day you'll see. In another world where you and me, we show our hearts here entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy. Tell me we can make this real if we can follow what we feel. I'm running but I've reached the edge, and now I'm falling, so promise that you'll catch me.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me.
Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
For the majority of the season, he was part of a QB class that had no real standouts. But during the offseason, he attended a QB camp with a few other prospects, and you could see the improvement on a daily basis. Matt Miller tells me that once pro days rolled around, you could see just how much he improved in terms of his mechanics and his release being quicker. He's been able to remain accurate despite the extra zip behind the ball. I don't think he's hit his ceiling yet, but we won't see how good he is until he gets on the field.
What women now, we running well. And nobody can, we on the town. I never come down, I never come down. it. Lose it. I might lose it. Everybody got guilty pleasures. Mine just tend to catch me cases. Handcuffs, police inspections, lawyers, judges, allegations. Turn on your favorite station. You hear the same old song. I feel like, dog, I'm about to drop the bomb. Blow one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, and nobody can. We on the town. Hey, never come down. I never come down. Blow one down, pass it around. Hey, what with me now? We running wild. Hey, and nobody can. We on the town. Hey, never come down. I never come down. Lose it. I might.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
I might. Lose it. I might. Lose it. Lose it. I might. Lose it. I might. Lose it. I might. Lose it. Lose it. I might lose it. Says it's gonna rain. Don't worry, girl, it won't change a thing. Yeah, we still got plans tonight. We're gonna kick it, that's a given, baby, rain and shine. Leave your Sunday best at home. Be the last time you wear what you got on. Bikini top and cut off jeans. Baby girl, you know you looking mean. She said, how we gonna make it through the mud hole?
The Packers are now on the clock.
Somebody get down in the dirty south. I'm about to show you what it's all about. But don't worry, it's a rowdy crowd. We ain't scared, we're still throwing down. We gonna tap, light that fire. We gonna crank that country. Pass that, and get thirsty. Listen, about to get dirty. About a good old flood, watching that red clay turn to mud. Sling it up, slap past the doors like a new paint job on a 4x4. Girl, you're gonna have a good old time. Can't let a little bit of rain change your mind. Let your hair down, kick off in boots. Once in your life, let yourself cut loose. Gonna get money from head to toe, clean it off, living in a swimming hole. Listen, about to get dirty in the dirty south. I'm about to show you what it's all about. Don't worry, it's a rowdy crowd.
about to get dirty in the dirty side.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Don't worry, the surrounding crowd. We ain't scared, we're still throwing down. We gonna tap, light that fire. We gonna crank that kush. Pass that, let's get thirsty. Everybody get thirsty. Listen, about to get dirty.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Nasty.
Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist. Let me tell you about the young man. Matter of fact, I'ma let Push tell that. Take it about the old man. Had to change her heart and it fell back. Old man lived a long life. Walked around with a long wig like Jesus, that Colombiana. That's mere models like. Yeah. Look at the flick of that wrist. I'm feeling
The
like
Colts are now on the clock.
need a bottle on the road to success. I can feel the throttle. That Michelangelo, hundreds in the envelope. Type when I write. And that old man had to change her heart. Wish he knew it back from the start. Like looked around, seen his wife on the military all over the whole compound. Soon as he seen it, I swear it, I mean it. My man was gone quicker than dominoes. He in jail. Everyone falling like dominoes. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist.
Logic, clockwise, counterclockwise, realest in the top 5. Other 4 ain't rapping. I'm just rapping for the side. Yeah, that's coastlines, Panama for the boat rides. Worth billions, and we ain't even need showtime.
The Titans are now on the clock.
Condo with a in there. We got rich in there. Been a trophy since Hawaiian Sophie. Curry over Kobe. We shooting. Splash Brothers with the add in soda. Good fellas to my Aureliotas. Shades of blue, I bet you. Let the sky fall, let it rain on you.
Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
If I'm not mistaken, home team made it. 2 3s on my feet, then I pump fake. Baby girl, grab the crew. Kiss it, sweat leave.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Hottest on the planet, get the place lit up. Fly, got his piece of taste, sight and touch. We ain't on the same team, cheer up. Bunch of that make sit up. I ain't come to blend in, boy, I stand out. Money talks, you just popping off at the mouth. If I'm the topic, then the conversation hit it. Right shrimp, getting booked up in every city. Splash out with cash, had to
The Vikings are now on the clock.
order 3 times in a row. I'm good on gas, I just filled up my tank. Now let's fill up her head and let's see if she goes.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
So bad, swimming in my bed. Off with that, off with that. Young Slim, get it in my infrared. Come and hit the rain, I just lit the gas. Young wild winning, living fast. Stashing money in a brown paper bag. We set the roof on fire, then we flood it out. We just threw the money up, we ain't even count. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it in my speeder, girl, I'm nothing, messing up my speech. I'm $1 million player, baby, nothing's at my reach. I'm $1 million, like I hit the lottery. Splash her with cash, had to spaz on the waitress. She messed up my order 3 times in a row. I'm good on gas, I just filled up my tank. Now let's fill up her head and let's see if she goes.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof on fire.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
I'm breaking in. breaking in.
The Redskins are now on the clock. All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
Successes and failures seem to go hand in hand during a very inconsistent season for him. Leading into his pro day, scouts expressed a great deal of concern over his inability to string together consistent positive performances. Those who attended came away extremely impressed with his raw physical abilities and footwork, feeling that with time and proper coaching, he could develop into a formidable NFL lineman. This pick may not pay immediate dividends, but it's a solid investment in the future of the offensive line.
Do you love me? I'm like, what I told you. As I woke up, I was in that 40, keep it funky. I keep it funky. Not important, that's not important. I'm just wanting me, and she just wanna let my money on my money. That came up, and I don't know. I don't know where I go tomorrow. Came up, and I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come tomorrow. Came up, and I don't know. I don't know where I go tomorrow. Came up, and I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come tomorrow. Yeah, I don't even worry about tomorrow. It might be some money. It might be all okay. I don't know where I'ma be tomorrow. Might be counting dough. I'll bet with your. Okay, your nose keep running and the money keep coming. Hey, I'ma keep ballin'. Hey, rock a park, spallin'. Hey, carefree. I've been living carefree. So much in the air, we can barely even breathe. Hey, I rarely worry about things I don't know. You say I'm living wrong, you ain't wrong, money wrong. Hey, so think about it, it ain't nothing I don't know. All the money.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
My second body cost a lot. After I bought it, I just wore it home. Reading philosophy and gossip rags. Spending my bottom dollar on my toes. I'm a pacifist who's never not been pacified. I'm a piece of... It's a point of pride. I'm the super rich complaining I want more in life. Cry, baby, cry, oh, cry, baby, cry, oh. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish.
The Texans are now on the clock.
I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
don't make no difference.
The Lions are now on the clock.
Rattling my replacement heart of gold. I'm coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference. It seems the competition is riding on her tail. It seems that they were hoping she would fail. The time has come to raise all guns to the sun. She will prove herself worthy. She will be the one. We will be victorious. Hate won't get the better of us. Some ways are mysterious.
Okay, so the Lions have just picked up Foster. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
Well, he saw little action in the option offense his school ran. His role was to run the deep route, stretching the field to open the run game. While he was able to get separation at times, the scheme limited him to only 1 or 2 catches a game. It wasn't until the combine that scouts had a chance to see him run the full route tree. Matt Miller told me his routes looked polished, and he impressed everyone at Indy by getting in and out of his cuts quickly. And most of his catches were clean, only bobbling a few of the more difficult passes. His performance gave scouts a little more confidence in his ability, and it helped him get drafted just now. He may still have some work to do, but I like his potential.
Don't you ever get tired and feel like giving up? Don't you ever feel like you've had enough? Don't you ever get tired of wondering what's wrong or right? Don't you ever get tired and feel like giving up?
Rams have just picked up Evans. Adam, what do you know about him?
Here's a kid who caused quite a stir earlier this year when he came out criticizing off-season workouts, stating that athletes of his caliber would be doing more harm than good to their body and preferring low-impact workouts such as yoga and Tai Chi to explosive Olympic lifting. The key concern from numerous teams was how this attitude would translate to his work ethic once he joined the team, with many worried that this may lead to issues in the locker room. The fact that his draft stock dropped in several mocks after these comments does not diminish the potential upside of bringing him onto your team. He's a gifted athlete who demonstrated tremendous leadership in college. Expect the strength and conditioning coaches to meet with him right away and talk training philosophy to head off any potential issues before they begin.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
I wanna live like it's Mardi Gras and go dumb with my whole squad and don't need no R&R to regular life. I say au revoir. Hey, living life in the fast lane. May your pain only.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
So please come join me. One thing, good vibes only. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks. Let's blow some down. Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one thing in common. We just wanna have fun. Hey. Do what you wanna do. Do what you wanna do. I think I'm gonna do something crazy. Come by, bring a rack. New grill and a bunch of snacks. And where we going, you don't need a map. You don't need a nap. You don't need jack. Except lots of people, some very loud speakers, cold drinks and good. Join me. One thing, good vibes only. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks. Let's blow some down. Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one thing in common. We just wanna have fun. Hey. Do what you wanna do. Think about to do it. Think about to do it. Do something crazy.
Down. Do something crazy.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Do something crazy. I just tapped. I'ma fill my cup. Got fireworks.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Tonight I'm going stupid. Doing things I've never done. We all got one thing in common. We just wanna have fun. Hey. Do what you wanna do. Think about to do it.
The Titans are now on the clock.
Do something crazy.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Do what you wanna do. Do something crazy. Do something crazy.
Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
A common complaint scouts like Matt Miller had was his dependence on raw power rather than proper technique. He tested well physically at his pro day, moving fast and displaying some strength. But in swim and rip drills, his hands looked slow and he relied more on his weight to move through the drill. If his technique doesn't, he may find himself getting locked up by linemen and unable to break free.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Used to draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie. Unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you can do. Being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Everybody's bathing in holy water. Ain't enough gone around. Raise their cups, wear their crowns.
The 49ers are now on the clock.
Go stand out to feel the jungle you sound. Transmission, not meant for this world.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up, I'm really good at putting words up. I make them levitate and circle with the birds. I don't need to force it, I let it occur. Whatever occurs, thank you. Feel like I was touched by an angel. Once again, a whole nother angle. I got a lot of holes in my ankle. I got a lot of love and a whole lot of ignorance, and that's a good thing if you want to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. It's come out like a power within him. I get down like gravity, raps and raps rapidly follow the rapid into the rapid to being rapping, unraveling, rattle riddles and rivets into the sky. I'm a rebel, feeling rhythmically right, and rigorous, spinner right to the rhythm, widow to side eye. I am the killer in the grasses. I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect them. I don't expect the special, ain't special. I don't expect nothing. I'm just really glad I can say something. That's a blessing. Ain't no stress affecting my presence. But sometimes the pressure keeps pressing. Worst keeps my impression impressed. That's the way to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate. From the present, now, present, come out.
The Saints are now on the clock.
How do we fall in love? Harder than a bullet could hit ya. How do we fall apart? Faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, pulling, make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Tales of an endless ride. Cursed is a fool who's willing. Can't change the way we are. One kiss away from killing. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Like a river, like a river. Like
So, what's up? You want James Burley? Yo, what up, Trey? Yeah? Can I get the mic? Yeah, he can hear me. He can hear me, Mom. Say, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
The Packers are now on the clock.
Hey, ain't you supposed to be working right now? You supposed to be working right now, and you on this damn game. Take your ass back to work, nigga. Take your ass to work, nigga. I repeat, take your ass to work, nigga. Take your ass to work, nigga.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Hey, why you ain't working? You supposed to be making some money right now. Hey. Yo, it's Jackie on the beat. Hey. Oh, you wanna hear me flow? Here you go. Hey. I woke up this morning, with a smile on my face. Then I rolled a blunt up and took it to the face.
The Packers are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock.
Bring a friend along, yeah. Now I got paper and I ain't gon' chase you, baby. I'm gon' take you down. Come on, shake it, baby. Turn that around. I'm like, oh my Lord, the light is going down and the weekend's here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the weekend's here. Who's on with me? Who's on with me?
The Browns are now on the clock.
You
coming troubles in the air.
Yo, 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 yo. It's Jackie O. Ha.
You're a crack at dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck.
And now, we have a singing selection from Jackie.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
I woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, steady on Jesus. Well, I woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, steady on Jesus.
Come on and raise your cup. If we talk about memories, yeah, we gonna make them. Talk about
Got it!
when the lights come on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody singing, every word to every song to the girl that's taking tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're, the smoke that we're, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on.
Alright. Draft him ASAP. I can't draft him, bro. It ain't my turn.
We all the same 'cause we thinking the same thing. We on the same page 'cause we sipping the same drink. Now here's a little something to thank y'all for showing up. Al Dean and the boys are about to blow it up.
Run, did you pause it or something?
When the lights come
What happened?
on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody singing, every word to every song to the girl that's
Bro, I want to draft. That's why I said ASAP. Oh, there go 2 people watching. 2, 3. Oh, yeah. That's me and now watching. Bro, what are they thinking? They take forever.
Well, if you're wondering what the delay is, I think we've got a trade coming here.
got 2 minutes on the clock or something. Yeah, we next. Why is R spelled like that? Oh, there we go. Finally, their time is going down, and the first time in forever. Hell, we got one person watching. Sweet.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Trying to get back close, hit them with the stiff. Gears I shift, make sure they feel the drift. Just cut the bands on with the tick. You should know, cause in every song I said, yeah, in every song I said, I'm just proud of my accomplishments. I'm a 400, I don't care, have a
The Bengals are now on the clock.
kids and growing straight, you should care. Please tell me why you always leave. 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 Yeah.
Hey, Dad, I got him.
Slaps on deck for the whole town. On mama's man, I did it with my own sound. And I got my own city that I hold down. Just admit it already. You got plans to do it, but we
So there goes his overall.
I'm slidden already. Gotta ask YG if he hit it already. Yeah, I'm a star like Maurice's. Running up the numbers like Aisha. Yeah, I be sliding, I be creeping. Girls these days, they just don't know how to keep it. But I got it all handled. They try to box me and I got my own angle.
If you hear that, I'm putting the mic down.
To the cake and I'm a wishing. Put on every candle. I'm like, please tell me why you always leave. 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 If you ain't know me, but you know now. Just in case.
All right.
The verse from me both times. Hold down. What's that? Ask no question, just hold it down. While you hating on the progress, I'm a humble.
That pick wasn't too bad, though.
Still crazy, I ain't even try shit. Hey, from a distance, please don't try me. Cause we'll turn it up on anybody. I see why they don't like me. Yelling out 400, they go too heavy. I'm with the posse back at it.
The Chargers are now on the clock.
That mean I got a Kindle in my mattress. Oh, I got the BD back bragging. Please tell me why you always leave. 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 Please tell me why you always leave.
San Diego.
Please tell me why you always leave.
My bad. There's only 3. I repeat, there's only 3. I didn't do anything to her. Okay, number 1 it is.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Not too bad. Really, not too bad. So, berry bugs. Ha!
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Hi, Daddy. Where's the dad? I miss you, Daddy. That was me.
My swag is dripping, so here's a napkin. What's really happening? Verbal attacking, I'm showing passion. Know what I mean? See, I'm the king, like I'm from Akron. I'm going overboard. Somebody call the captain. And when it comes to getting checks, I always want the fat one. I'm so I can sing to a chandelier. My flow a glass of spade and yours a can of beer. Too many buttons. Not enough. These bugging, the SWAT is coming. Shoulder, no shoulder shrugging. At your nugget. Sticky like acupuncture and Magnus honey. Knock on the side door 3 times and have your money. Or get to stepping like Kappa stomping. I slap. I'm having lunch with Italian Sunday. Don't ask the subject. Lord, why you took rabbit from me? He said don't ask me.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Too many bundles, not enough. These bugging, I heard they stun you. It's gonna be trouble. We couple and catch you while you cuddle. Battles like tunnels. Don't even mumble. Pull on the scene enough. We ain't playing basketball. Take you spaghetti and castor oil. Turn your dinner team to a fashion show. In 4 minutes, I turn this into forensics in a phone cast with a phone. It's long-winded, paper long, and you taking long. You just don't get it. Hung the phone up and say Tony.
I draft the middle linebacker.
In a van full of some
Him? Should I draft him? I'm good, right?
Got a mansion, a condo, a cabin. I sleep in my family. Dancing with the stars to the Star Spangled Banner. I change your channel, I change your pattern. I ring your Saturn. I your madam, she get and I shake the ladder. I make her and gather and calculate the data. I listen up for the snake, all the baby rattle. I play the shadows, don't play no games. I shake it out. All day, like it's my favorite album.
I play the sound when
Yeah,
it coming
my stupid!
out.
Yeah, my
If I don't
stupid!
get the car first, I have a true potential. I innovative,
Yeah,
I
my
demonstrate
stupid!
it.
Yeah, my stupid!
Owe me it. You need to pay me.
Yeah, my stupid! Yeah, my stupid!
Situated, get keys off table and leave it. I
Yeah,
really
my
made it. Get it
stupid!
made.
Yeah, my stupid!
Go wrestle versus I spatula all you action figures.
Shining like a spider on a spud web. I got some. I feed it to my girls. They say, yeah.
I'm doing this for what?
Lopez is the latest pick. We go to Adam for more.
A fundamentally sound offensive lineman whose last collegiate season was ended prematurely by an ankle injury. He's a guy who has the potential to become a centerpiece on the line for years to come. If there's one point of contention about him, it's that after talking to several of my sources, there's a significant worry about the strength of his surgically repaired right ankle. The original injury happened when the ankle appeared to buckle while he was not engaged.
I took Purple Purp's guy. Purple Purp was looking for him, but I took him.
With exceptional upper body strength, leading some strength coaches to openly question if this explosive lifting is putting additional stress on his leg joints. He looked good at the combine with excellent lateral movement pushing off the ankle in question. He probably won't know how well that ankle holds up until about a year from now after he's been through the rigors of an entire NFL season.
Love you too! Love you too! Bye-bye! Love you!
The Packers are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock.
You have to stand up to my room. I gotta go in here. No, I don't get it. Race. Oh!
for more. High on many experts' draft boards early in the season, including Todd McShay's, here's a guy that saw his stock dramatically fall after several public altercations with his coaching staff on the sideline. One owner I spoke with went as far as saying his antics were so disturbing that they immediately eliminated him from their team's big board. Others viewed the altercations as a sign he's passionate about the game and not that he has any type of disdain for authority. Either way, there are enough questions about his character now that make this pick a bit of a risk. They say winning cures all ills, so it should be very interesting to see what happens should this team not get off to a good start.
I got $1,000, smelling like LA. Medic from Miami to the Machiavelli. Let the kids on belly, let the bit on my celly. She ate like spaghetti. I'm hitting gas and ready. Massachusetts and Memphis. Give me my flowers, so I can smell them. I'm talking about literally the room. Looks like a water in Nashville. Then I
The Bears are now on the clock.
California, but nothing like Compton. It smell like Calistoga and it's hot as I pop me up. Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. In a row, dark zone. Why does everywhere I go? Mommy's home. You know that state of gold. Other places come close, but they don't compare. Now, I've been to New York, come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, AATLMIA, DDMV, all reminds me of California, cause there's no place like California. California, California, no place like California. Fresh off a flight to Boston, got a BZ in Maryland that I pipe to Austin. Right to Austin, most likely flossing. Pipe exhausted, hot as a forklift. King full of goons out in Colorado. Any given afternoon, you can catch a hollow.
The Giants are now on the clock.
I done seen everywhere from Russia to Delaware, Charleston and Delaware, Jackson to Belair, Petty to he saw, he boss, every project, every seashore, trying to see more nomadic. I probably kind of belong. All it takes is a melody. Come on, Texas, yeah, Midwest, and it all reminds me of California.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Outside.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
We only taking what is out.
The London Black Knights are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind.
The Saints are now on the clock.
What a major loss. Aiden's gonna look for the headlight. Aiden's gonna look for... Oh!
Unwinding every moment, like the clock is broken.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Yeah, we're living wide open. Unwinding every moment, like the clock is broken. Never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living wide open. We know we are brighter than all the stars. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. We make the rules, break 'em
tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying something.
The Packers are now on the clock.
The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. There's people here that I just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to raise. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our head.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Just acting our age. We're too loud, we're too proud, we're too high to come back down. We don't think, we don't plan, we stay as long as we can. As long as we can. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age.
The Colts are now on the clock.
Don't make me beg, don't make me wait. I need a hold in the darkness of the night. And when I stray, show me my place. You are my shelter, baby, let me feel your light.
The Titans are now on the clock.
One foot in a deep revival, another one going in the fire. Only one that can save me now is you. Healer, oh, I need a healer. I can feel it now, I can feel it now. Got to give it up now. Healer, oh, I need a healer. I can feel it now, I can feel it now. Got to give it up now. This aching pain when you're away, like a burning ship that sets the sails to you. Fingertips
The Vikings are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock.
I'm tired of this in the kitchen. But how else am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it?
The Broncos are now on the clock.
I got these bitches dripping. Was young, I wanted a Bentley. I promise I'm gon' go with some, I gon' get it. I had a trap at the vacant. Swerving around in Vegas. Mama, we finally made it. Walking with a Rex, I'm a trap star. She ride these left car. Drop the bricks in the backyard. Try to run a white heart. I can take her on a date. Here's a chicken dinner. Put my wrist in the pot. I can make it trick. I'm tired of this in the kitchen. But how else am I gonna get it?
The Chargers are now on the clock.
How am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it? I'm getting kinda tired of all this in the kitchen. How else am I gonna get it? 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 Whip. How else am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it? Whip. How else am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it? Whip. You know my is the best. I feel like I should stop and retire as a vet and probably maybe put on a new. Oh, I'm in a cruise ship. I'm tired of this in the kitchen. But how else am I gonna get it? 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 I'm getting kinda tired of all this in the kitchen. How else am I gonna get it? 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 Whip. How else am I gonna get it?
The London Black Knights are now on the clock.
Whip. How else am I gonna get it? How else am I gonna get it?
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Y'all never played fair, so tell me why now? Should
The Bengals are now on the clock.
told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere. Did we build that? Do we own that? We even in the studios running playback. Shout out to Airman Sally, the young guards.
The Browns are now on the clock.
See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know what we overcome? But they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down, We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
We play our way.
I'd rather be me.
Do work all day.
We don't see defeat.
You be fly that, can we buy that? We even run a full court, make it stack. Shout out to Maya Moore, the young guard. To all the girls like us, yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of that we overcome. Do you know we got overcome? We bow down to none. I wanna hail out all my day ones. Time really does fly when you're having fun, but the party don't stop till we staring down the sun.
Try to shut us down. We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kick.
The Texans are now on the clock.
Try to shut us down. We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. Kick it. Kick it. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
This over-complex new design, I'm tripping over all the time.
The Lions are now on the clock.
Fragile line, whatever's left is always right. I will take back what's rightly mine. This is my forsaken fight. We're gonna set this place alight. Bring it on tonight.
The Rams are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
Bring it on tonight.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
Ravens pick is in now. Let's go to Adam with more on Carroll.
A recent change to the combine eligibility rules added an academic clause. Basically, it withheld invitations to the combine from players who had a poor academic standing. I couldn't find out the specifics of his violation, but it was enough for him to lose eligibility for the combine. Not only that, but some scouts pointed to the off-the-field concerns as a reason he slid down draft boards. At least there was enough tape of him playing for scouts to work with, and it was enough to impress at least one team, and we'll see how he does for them.
This over-complex new design, I'm tripping over all the time. We try to walk a fragile line. Whatever's left,
The Panthers are now on the clock.
we'll take back what's rightly mine. This is my forsaken fight. We're gonna set this place alight. Bring it on tonight. Bring it.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
He's a gifted tight end who had scouts buzzing to begin the season. Just as the hype surrounding him was hitting an all-time high, he was plagued by a series of critical fumbles, leaving draft experts wondering what went wrong. Sources tell me that after the season ended, he began working with a sports psychologist to help curb the fumbling issues. He performed well at both his pro day and at the combine, but has yet to demonstrate his grip on the ball after contact. Clearly, this is a team that feels the fumbling issues are behind him and are confident his upside far outweighs any of the potential risk.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Hey, well that's exactly what it came for. You throwing shots from afar, I'ma meet you at your front door. So hard to be doing what you really meant for, beauty. But don't I make it look easy? Don't I make it look good? Hey, now you drink up all my. Come on, what I'm supposed to do now? And you talking all that. Now come on, you gon' have to back it up. If I get too now, sugar, come on, I might never come down. I might never come down. Let me get down. Come on, you might not ever come down. No, let me get down. You might not ever come down. No, wanna get down. You might never, ever come down. It took too long to get this high off the ground. Don't run, just stay away. Come on, can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it with the big bad dough. Can't see it with this pitch black Gucci frames on. Let me take it off, let me get the full scope. Hold up, full screen HD. Let me take another picture, let me pull it to the pre-show. Whoa, cool beans, that's a whole lot of. Let me help you with the pre-roll. You drink up all my. Come on, what I'm supposed to do now?
The Giants are now on the clock.
Now come on, you gon' have to back it up. If I get too now, sugar, come on, I might never come down. I might never come down. Not ever come down. No, let me get down. Hey, you might not ever come down. No, wanna get down. Hey, you might not ever come down. No, let me get down. Come on, you might never, ever come down. It took too long to get this high off the ground. Don't run, just stay a while. You might never, ever come down. It took too long to get this high off the ground. Don't run, just stay a while.
I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no. Demon fangs spitting in my cup all night long. Wheel your tongue at my throne of power. Oh no. I never for a second thought that I was dead.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Never for a second let you into my head. Oh no. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you die, you were the love of my life. Whoa no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa no. I bet you thought that I would lose my mind. Oh no! I bet you thought that I'd give up tonight. Oh no! Bleeding knees, but honey, I can still cry. Oh yeah!
The Raiders are now on the clock.
to get out of this. Oh yeah. I'll take a bow and I'll show you how to survive. I bet you it's all you were the love of my life. Whoa, no. I bet you thought that I would lay down and die. Whoa, no.
The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock.
There are men, and there are giants. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west now down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold on, then throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the in the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, caking dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal.
I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one, and it's time.
CNN, this is ghetto editorial. See me like milk and Oreos. Dipped inside the audio, platinum plaques in my portfolio.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
You could do what you wanna do, whether group or solo. Boston cold with a bowl of chili. Summer cheesesteak on the roll in Philly. I'm a patriot, don't do a hatred. If you make that beef, I'll smack you silly. Back on up on this. Before you with this, you better walk jumping off the building of this. Oh, got the heat up the show. Face up the thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey, Paul, let him know.
I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants,
The Saints are now on the clock.
shaking through the walls. 'Cause we are giants. Heart of David, you know it takes just one. GTR.
Novus ordo seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us, they could not destroy us.
Dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline.
For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my CPS.
Giants,
The Patriots are now on the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting in the hall.
Poppin' nugget when I met you, shorty held the long extension. Told her I'm a bad man, but I only got the best intention. Tougher, not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead, don't have to take it undercover. Just on the bells are ringing, people singing, rice is throwing, flower bringing. Ting-a-ling-a-ling, the honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know exists. What's your wish? Dinner at the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Shot us in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, and we went up. Yeah. And my love a tripping, yeah. Now I feel my body drifting, yeah. Baby girl, she got me lifted. Am I tripping? Yeah. Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Jaws dropping when she walking, kind of thing that happen often more than just a little. I be shutting down the city, black the latest gears. When she wear, you see that sun in the air. Fashion week all year, throwing money in the air. She's happy with my lady, other girls they wanna hate her. It comes with the terror.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
We got is royalty, I'm treating you like royalty. I'ma spoil you every day of the week. Shot us in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, then we went up. Yeah. And my love a tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. My body dripping. Girl, she got me lifted. Am I tripping?
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
Excuse her while she kisses the sky. Excuse her while she kisses the sky.
The Bears are now on the clock.
Excuse her while she kisses the sky. Excuse her while she kisses the sky.
The Colts are now on the clock.
Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, now breathe, baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey, inhale, exhale.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Excuse her while she kisses the sky.
Yes, ain't gonna waste you, lover. No way it'll be alright. You're messing with a rogue wolf, baby. Darkness gonna break your life. No prayer gonna part my thunder. No one's gonna.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
You're messing with a sickness, baby. Your heart is a plague on mine.
The Vikings are now on the clock.